there are so many benefits with journaling, and that can be mental, emotional, or physical. What is going on? It's your girl C-Positivista. Welcome back to another video. So in this video, I want to talk about the benefits of journaling. If you've not seen my previous video yet, where I show you guys all of my or most of my journals, go ahead and watch that video and then come back to this video. But yeah, journaling has so many benefits, and I want to go through some of those benefits within this video. So let's go. So one of the benefits of journaling is improved mental health. So whether you're looking for stress relief, whether you're looking for an outlet, whether you're looking to just seek clarity, journaling will do that for you. By writing your thoughts, your emotions, it helps you to process your emotions, to process your thoughts. And with that, it brings about clarity. It brings about clarity where you're able to understand the things that you're thinking. Because when you're thinking of it, everyone thinks differently. You've got people who are visual thinkers. You've got others who are audio thinkers. You've got different ways of thinking. Like, I learned so much when I started journaling, and with that you can have a bit more of a mental clarity where you're able to understand why you're thinking the way that you're thinking, and you're just able to think to understand your thoughts a little bit more. Expressive writing really does help to reduce anxiety and depression levels. Like, personally, when I started journaling, I was going through a lot of suicidal thoughts, and I felt really scared to share this with anyone. And the safest thing for me at the time was to journal. And I didn't understand why I was having these thoughts. I didn't understand it. However, when I started to write things down, I started to understand that, yo, this is deep. I really want to do this to myself. Like, I really don't want to be here anymore. Like, it was deep. So when the thoughts were in my mind, when suicidal thoughts were in my mind, I didn't think it was that deep until I wrote it down and then started to understand why I thought that way, why I wanted to do that, why. So I was able to get mental clarity. So journaling helps you helps you get mental clarity, helps you get stress relief, and also helps reduce your anxiety levels and your depression levels. So when you write down your emotions, like what you're feeling, you're more likely to manage your emotions a lot easier. Because, say for example, if you write down you're sad, okay, you're sad, that's an emotion, great. However, when you're journaling, you can also explore what makes you sad. What is it that you were doing that made you realize that you were sad? You know, how often do you feel sad? Is it every day? Is it once a week? And what makes you sad? Is it after you've spoken to a friend or a family member or your partner or whatever? Like, so by writing down your emotions and then, you know, kind of branching out and understanding where those emotions are coming from, you're able to manage your emotions better. So journaling essentially acts as an emotional outlet where you're able to express yourself. There's no judgment. The only judgment comes from yourself. Because if no one else is reading your journal, only you, it's literally you versus you. Like, you're understanding yourself, you're understanding your thoughts, your emotions. It's so beautiful, but it can also be scary at the same time, where it's like I mentioned, like for me, it was like, oh my gosh, like I'm having these thoughts. And it was only until I read it, that's when it was like, okay, I need help. The next benefit of journaling is enhanced awareness. So, and when you're journaling and you're writing about yourself, you get to understand yourself better. You get to understand your ways better, your habits, your behavior, then you start to understand certain patterns. You start to understand certain behaviors, certain thoughts, how often you have them, especially if you're not just journaling, but if you're also going back and reading your previous journals. So say for example, if you journaled the whole of last week, and this week you decide, okay, let me read about what I journaled last week. So when you do that, you're able to see, I was sad on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but I wasn't sad on Friday. Then you can kind of think, what happened on Friday that's different to the other days of the week? Well, Friday, because it's the last day of work, then I get to have weekend. Then it brings you to another thing where it's like, is it an issue with your job? Do you not like your job? So with journaling, you can get to know yourself. It brings about different things within you that you don't even understand is happening, or you don't even know is happening. So essentially, when you're journaling, it allows you to reflect on previous thoughts, previous emotions, previous behaviors, previous events, even, you know, and there's loads of different types of journaling. You can do a dear diary, Moesha type of journaling where you're just writing about your day to day. Or, dear diary, this is what happened today, da 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 da. Or you can take a different approach where it's more less about what happened and more about how you're feeling, and more about how, what you're thinking about, and what it is that's going on inside of you. There's something about you facing yourself when you're journaling. When you're journaling, it forces you to face yourself, because as you're writing, you're meeting yourself. The more you write, the more of yourself you're getting to meet. And it's like, I didn't even know this part of me, or I didn't even know this side of me. And there's so much beauty in that, because it's like you either discovering yourself or rediscovering yourself. And there's so much power in that. With journaling can really bring you to the present moment, which can really help you to just ground yourself and just be. Because we live in a world where, like, certain things are just like fast paced, and there's a lot of things that just happen, and sometimes we don't process it. So when you're journaling, it helps you to be mindful of the present moment, and you can it kind of forces you to just be in the moment, to just be at that present moment, that precise moment, and you're just there, and you're just present, and it's just you, and it's just yourself. And that can be such a beautiful experience, or it can be such a scary experience for someone else, because you know there's so many people running from themselves. So if you're running from yourself, journaling will force you to meet yourself. Where if you find it difficult to process your emotions, if you find it difficult to express yourself emotionally, it kind of provides you with that space. It's a safe space for you to kind of explore those parts of you, or those emotions that you don't always explore. Like, say for example, with vulnerability, like, so many people are scared to be vulnerable, whether they're scared of judgment, whether they're scared of being seen. And that's a thing. Being scared to be seen is a thing. So if you're someone who you've grown up in an environment where your voice wasn't heard, you know and there's a lot of anger stored inside of you, journaling can be such a powerful way of releasing that anger that's held in for so long, sadness that's held in for so long, frustration that's been held in for so long can cause such deep hurt, pain, trauma that if it's not expressed, if it's not released, can be so dangerous. And that can be you being dangerous, you being in danger within yourself or putting other people in danger. Yeah, so by constantly expressing yourself a bit more, and you're tracking those emotions, that can help you to become more and more emotional intelligent. And that's you being emotionally intelligent within yourself. Another benefit is improved communication skills, where because you've been journaling, because you've been writing, that can provide you with the confidence to be able to express yourself better. You may also be able to express your thoughts better, because where you've been journaling, you're more likely to now be in a place where, because you understand your own thoughts, because you now understand how you function and how your thought process runs, you can now explain it to somebody else, where it's like, well, I don't function that way. Could you explain it to me in this way, because my brain doesn't work in that way. So it improves your relationships, because you're able to communicate more effectively due to understanding yourself and your emotions and your way of processing and your way of being. Journaling also helps increase your writing skills, helps you better your handwriting, because it's practice. It's practice where you're constantly getting practice. You're able to get into the flow of things, and not just that, it could also improve your vocabulary as well. Journaling can promote gratitude and positivity. So by writing down anything that you're grateful for, that can bring about a positive mindset. And the more you do that, the more positive your mind will be, in terms of, the more positive you are, the more grateful you are. Like, say for example, if you have like a gratitude journal, the more positive your outlook of life will be. Go read about it, go do your own research. But the more positive you are about things, the more grateful you are about things, the more positive your mindset will be. But again, this goes with practice. It's not just you do it for the first day today, you're grateful for this, and you're expecting your mindset to all of a sudden being positive all the time now. No, it doesn't work like that. It's practice. It's practice. And also positive affirmations. So writing about your strengths and writing about your achievements can also increase your self-esteem. So where you will think of yourself in a better light, you will think of yourself in a more positive way. So when you're writing about your strengths, when you're writing about your achievements, when you're writing about how good you see yourself and how good you think of yourself, you're more likely to feel a bit more positive about yourself, and your self-esteem and your confidence increases. Be more and more positive about yourself. The way that you think of yourself, the way that you speak of yourself, whether it's you just speaking through the mirror. Like, I used to do this a lot when I first started positive affirmations. I used to say things in front of the mirror, like I was Issa Raeing. I don't know if you guys have seen Insecure, but I was speaking in front of the mirror like Issa Rae was on Insecure, and just saying all of these positive affirmations about myself. And it's so important. It's so important for you to speak life into yourself. Like, it's so important for you to speak positively about yourself. And it's like, sometimes we don't really deep it, but what you think about yourself matters. What you say about yourself matters. Like, self-talk is important. Like, positive self-talk is important, because If you don't allow other people to talk negatively about you, to trash talk you, then why do it to yourself? Why is it okay for you to do it to yourself? Because that then reinforces negative thoughts. But when you're journaling, put it in words, write it down, the beautiful things that you think of yourself, the things that you have achieved. That will continuously remind you, that will set a reminder in your mind that you can achieve more. If you've been able to do this, you can do that. If you're good at this, try this, because you might be good at that too. So it's just about you getting to know yourself. And when you get to know yourself, you will discover good things about yourself. And when you discover those things, hold on to them. Hold on to those great things about yourself. Last but not least is a sense of growth. As you journal, as time goes by, when you go back and read at your, read your old journals, you get to see how much you've grown, how much you've developed. You get to see some of the trials and tribulations that you've been through, and you've been strong enough to go through it. And that essentially gives you the strength to keep going. If you're currently in a tough situation, if you're currently going through something and you're thinking, I just don't know if I can do this, if you've previously shared or written within your journal some hard stuff that you've gone through before, when you go back to that journal, you'll be able to see, I've been through some tough stuff, like I can do this. And it can give you that strength. You can track your progress, your growth. You can track the different milestones. So when you're journaling, depending on what you're journaling about, depending what your journal entries are about, make sure to put the good as well. I shared in my previous video about journaling. When I started to journal, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what I was writing about. I was just writing. And sometimes that's where you might need to start. Sometimes you're like, well, I don't know what to write. I didn't know what to write. But now I've got all of these journals. I didn't know what to write. It's been years. Like if you're thinking about starting to journal, if you're thinking, you know what, I want to start journaling, I want to start writing things down, but I don't really know like what to write. Just write. It doesn't even need to make sense. You can write ratatata taka taka ta ta, like whatever. Just write. And the more you write, the more, it just depends, like, because you might want to have a different outlet, but try journaling. Give it a try. So thank you for watching this video. Click that like button if you enjoyed this content, and if you've started journaling or you want to start journaling, leave it in the comments below. If you've journaled before and journaling has helped you before, encourage others within the comment section. And yeah, I'll see you within the next video. See ya.